So BYD, remarkable company. They've not been in this country for very long. They've been making cars for not very long. They're about the same age as Tesla, but my goodness, they're making a lot of them. And this is the latest one to come to the European market. This one is coming to the UK. This is the BYD Atto 2. And I've just started driving it. I'm not going to lie, it's very, very nice. Anyway, that's the BYD Atto 2, and this is the Everything Electric Cars Show.
Our 3 free YouTube channels on EVs and clean tech are funded by our fun-packed test drive-tastic events in Farnborough, London, the Southwest, the North, Melbourne and Sydney, and next up, Everything Electric Farnborough. And new for UK viewers, you can now buy a battery EV and much more at everythingelectric.store. Now, back to the episode.
I think it's safe to say that when you first see the BYD Atto 2, you don't go, oh my God, what have they done with the design? It's insane. It's very sane. It is very sane, but it is actually styled by a man called Wolfgang Egger. And he designed the Alfa Romeo 8C and the legendary Audi R8, which I do know that car, and that is pretty stylish car. So it's got some design chops in it, but I think it's a very smooth looking, very simple looking, unobtrusive car that just does the job that you want it to do, which is to be a car, isn't it? That's really the primary thing. One of the things I did find out, I thought it might have a frunk. It doesn't. So I've got used to having a charge point here. I was always a charge point at the back, man, but I've moved on. I want a charge point here. This is good. It's on this side. I like that. That means you can use any chargers you like. Very good. Like that. The styling of it around here, I quite like. It's sort of rugged, but without being too over the top. It's not pretending it's like a massive off-road beast, but it looks chunky and very stable. Getting in and out, very easy. Nice big doors, nice high roof, very easy for an old man. Don't have to bend and grunt. This is a grunt-free car. So the boot, let's have a look. Manual, no buttons. You have to lift it yourself. Well, you don't have to, it does lift itself up. So that's 400 litres with the seats up, and it is 1,340 litres with the seats down, and they do fold down flat. It's got no lip here, very easy to load stuff in. It has another compartment underneath there, so you could put all your cables or a lot of other stuff in there. It's got plenty of storage, basically. And then when you've put stuff in the back, you've got to close it manually. Oh my God, that was exhausting. That arm is absolutely frayed now. I do like the rear lights because there's so many cars that we've looked at in the last few years that have the big bar across the back and somehow similar. This has kind of got a weird knotted twisty thing, which I quite like. I haven't actually seen this before because I've been driving it, so I've only looked out the front. But that I really like, and it does now feel smaller than the Atto 3, which I am quite used to. And it feels like it's next step up. It's kind of it's the next generation. It's a better looking car altogether, I think. So the BYD Atto 2 comes in 2 flavours. The Boost, which costs £30,850, has a 51 kilowatt hour battery and about a 220 mile range, somewhere in that area. And then the Comfort costs £34,950 and has a 64 kilowatt hour battery, which gives it a 270 mile range, or thereabouts. They all come with a 6-year warranty on the car and an 8-year warranty on the battery. What does that tell us? That the company knows that the battery is going to last longer than the car, because they wouldn't give it a warranty if it's only going to last 3 years and then you throw the battery away, as so many people like to pontificate. So I've had a bit of experience with BYD cars because when I was in Australia earlier this year, I had access to my sister-in-law's BYD Atto 3, which I really love driving, and we drove it a lot. Thank you, Margaret. It's very kind of you. Really, just such an easy car to drive. And I've got to say, this feels very, very familiar. Now, I'm assuming that if I actually had the Atto 3 to compare it with, this is smaller, but it doesn't feel smaller inside. Okay, so I got a little bit distracted then, and immediately on the dash, an eye appears and it says, keep your eyes on the road. So there's quite a lot. I've only driven this car now maybe a couple of miles, and there's quite a lot of beeping, binging, bonging and bunging. And all of them relevant but I could question whether they're all genuinely helpful. Once you really got used to this car, you may find yourself turning some of those off. So we're basically driving around Pinewood Studios in the UK, but this is a big park next to Pinewood Studios. So we're in a fairly rural area here, and they've advertised this car as an urban car, and which is fine. I mean, it's better to have an urban car like this than to have an urban car with a diesel engine, let's be honest. But it doesn't feel that compact, and I've been recently driving the Renault 5, which just feels much smaller than this. Now, I'm not sure how much smaller, obviously a little bit, but probably not that much. But it feels smaller. This feels like quite a big car. I feel like quite high up. It's a compact SUV, the most popular segment. What did people buy in 2024? 33% of all new car sales were large SUVs. So there is a market for them. We can argue against it till we're blue in the face, but that's what people are buying. So you can't really blame a company like BYD for making at least a compact compact SUV for this market. So as you know, I'm really good at delivering really in-depth, complex appraisals of the driving style, of the handling of the vehicle. I'm not going to push this car in terms of its road holding and go round corners really fast, because why would you? And you've probably got 2 kids in the back and a load of shopping. You know, you'll spill your Waitrose oat milk. So, you know, that's not what this car is for, but it's so confident and easy on the nerves. You know, it's just really, really comfy, easy car to drive. Really good visibility, really good brakes, adequate acceleration, really comfortable. You know, all those things. It's more, you know, it's unusual to find a car that doesn't have them, but some of them have them, but they're quite awkward. This one has them, and it's really, really easy to use. So that is, you know, very hard to be critical of that. I've got to say, I sat in this car. It is so simple. It is so clear. And the components that you need to do the basic driving are just really intuitively in the right place. You've got a button here that tells you immediately all the different aspects of the vehicle, the tyre pressures, how many kilowatt hours you're using to 100 miles, all those sort of things, your average speed. It's daredevil speed. My average speed's been 9 miles an hour in the last hour of driving, so not that fast. Phone charger, instantly. It's obviously there. It's 50 watts. It's got cooling, so it blows cold air over the phone so it doesn't get too hot. It works really, really well. I've only had it, my phone's only been there for an hour, and it's actually gone up to, it went from 50 to 75%. That's amazing. The materials, I mean, Jack would be wonderful with this, but they're really nice. I mean, they're soft. This, I think, is all plastic. I don't even know. That there is the camera that is looking at my eyes all the time to make sure I'm looking at the road. And I think that I did start to find a little bit intrusive. How much information is being sent from that camera back to China, which is what people like to worry about. I don't think it is. I think they've got better things to do. But in case you get very angry with the car, you can just swear and be really abusive to that little camera, and it will get through to the people required. Don't do that. That's not pleasant. All this stuff comes as standard with this car. This isn't extra bits. It's amazing. It's got other buttons here. That's the drive selector. All those things, volumes is there. So very, very manual controls for the really important things. It's all buttons and scroll wheels, which are really, once you know where those are, you wouldn't even think about it when you're driving. You do turn the volume down, turn the volume up. Other one I really like is the 3 fingers on the screen. So you go 3 fingers down and you set your temperature for higher or lower. That is amazing, because that means you don't have to look. You just go like that. It was a bit too hot. I'll turn it down a bit. That's incredible. Works so well. Doesn't matter what screen setting it's on. If it's on the map, if it's on anything, doesn't matter. Always works. Genius. Now the back. That is very roomy, that back. And that is an older gentleman getting in the back of a car without grunting. Very important points. Grunt-free access this has. Lovely big chunky handles. I like that. Little door pocket there when you're in the back. USB 2 chargers there, pockets in the backs of the seats. Very nice, actually. And that would be very good for phones. Good visibility over the shoulder of the driver or passenger, because that can be a problem in the back of a modern cars with the big headrests and everything. Little coat hook, cute. Little reading light up there. Little handle for some people less able-bodied. That always helps to be able to pull yourself out of a car. Beautiful sunroof. Amazing, big sunroof. That's lovely. All standard. Keep saying it. All standard. That's what this car comes with. And really comfortable seats. Now, one thing I'm slightly embarrassed about is I've got muddy paw marks all over my trousers now. Well, we met a gentleman taking his dog for a walk in the park we're stopped in, and it was such a cute dog, and it kept jumping up and doing ha 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 ha, and then it walked away, and that was the end of it. And then I looked down at my trousers, which were spotless this morning. They're now filthy. Part of the joy of filming cars in parks. Oh, keep eyes on road. That's when it gets me. What you can't do when you're driving this car, I've discovered, is drive past a film set where they're filming Marvel Adventures, have a little stare up at all the lights and all the action going on, and then it tells you off for not looking at where you're going, which is right, it should do. But I am driving very slowly. But I think this one's going to make a big impact because it's smaller and slightly cheaper, and the technology in it, once people have experienced it, will go, oh, right. So the range is amazing. The batteries, LFP, so lithium iron phosphate batteries, no cobalt, no nickel, hugely easily recyclable, much longer lasting than any other battery chemistry we've got so far. So more charge and discharge cycles. Here's a really important thing that you might not think about if you haven't driven an electric vehicle. New electric cars still have lead acid batteries because all the electronics work from that. So everything that's electric that isn't the force that drives you along is coming from your 12-volt battery, and they stop working. They run out. They go flat, and you can't start the car. An electric car can have a full, a full drive battery, but you still can't use it. I've had to jump start a Nissan Leaf from a diesel Land Rover. That's how absurd it is. Well, this car, and now all BYD cars, have exactly the same battery chemistry in their 12-volt battery that recharges from the big drive battery, will last, like 25 years longer than a lead acid battery. You won't need to replace it. You won't need to charge it. You won't need to jump start your electric car from a diesel car. And I think that is a very good starting point. For goodness sake, that is a bit of old technology that's hung on to electric cars, and the sooner we don't have any lead acid batteries, the better. What I've decided is it's very hard to not like the BYD Atto 2. It just does the job that you want it to do. I think it's really good. I mean, I would have one with that at the drop. It's such a good car. Why not? Fantastic thing just to get around in. That's all, really. I really like it. I want to have another go in one for longer. I'll talk to BYD, see what I can get. Anyway, I'll shut up. That's all. Please tell your mates about everything electric cars. We're going to be doing a lot more cars. There's some amazing cars coming out in the next few months. I can't believe it. The range of sizes, prices, all those things is extraordinary. Please do subscribe if you haven't done already. Please let us know what you think in the comments. And as always, if you have been, thank you for listening. Watching.